last night we went ahead and got the EJ for the blob eye pretty much put together. I wanted to get it timed last night, but I was missing these two cam seals, so I just went to Subaru this morning and got them. So that means we can get the timing components on there, get it timed, get the valve cover sealed up. USPS has all my valve cover stuff today, as well as like new engine harness, new hoses, everything that we need for this engine. So pretty excited, because that means that the EJ is going to be done for the car. So that way, once the clutch and flywheel shows up, we can get the engine put back in the car and then start getting everything going. It's nice and refreshed. The heads were resurfaced. They were pressure checked. They were hot tanked. I went ahead and swapped out the valve springs because those ones in there, I can say they confidently had 200,000 miles on them. And on top of that, I just don't want any valve float issues up higher in the RPM band once we start tuning. And if we start pushing the car a little bit, it's just smarter to take care of it now than it would be later. So that's all nice and refreshed. We got stock cams, all that, the ARP 2000s, tossed on the oil pan, all that fun stuff. So at this point, let's get these other cam seals on, get this engine timed, and hopefully by that time USPS shows up. I'm gonna be jumping back and forth between filming this video and another. This one might be a little bit shorter because I have to get the WRX in here today and pull the transmission out of that car, because Johnny's coming up tomorrow to disassemble our 6-speed to fix the reverse gears and the synchros in 4, 5, and 6. So let's get back to this EJ. Woo! Perfect cam seal every time, baby. Water pipe. That's you, buddy. Someone had asked how hard is it to realign the cams with the gears. There's a dowel on the cam and the gear, so you literally cannot get it wrong. That's a lie, I have gotten it wrong before. But, like right there, it's in there. As I sit here, I've messed it up multiple times. I messed it up once, okay, but I won't hide my shame. I won't hide my shame. Embrace it. Be the shame. So something you have to watch out for on these older ones is plastic gets brittle over time, and it will explode and it will break. Luckily, I have spares of a lot of parts, so that rear timing cover literally just exploded as soon as I went to go put this bolt in. Didn't really tighten it down that much, and then it was like into a whole bunch of pieces. So let me get that rear timing cover on, get the cam gears on. We'll torque all the cam gears down to 80 foot-pounds, and then we'll get this thing timed, and hopefully by that time USPS shows up with our bag of goodies, so that way we can get the valve covers and everything like that on. And then, like I said, at this point this engine's pretty much gonna be ready to go back into its home in this STI, with the exception of the flywheel and the clutch, which hopefully we should get soon. Measure. Perfect. And now it's time to time it. I am using just an OEM Subaru timing belt. I don't know why. Normally I just buy ASIN, but I had like half a timing belt kit, so I just bought what I needed. So our crank mark is not fully lined up, so let me grab the 22. A lot of people freak out when doing timing on these things. We are dead on. So you're gonna line up the crank sprocket to the oil pump, cam gear to timing cover, cam gear to cam gear, cam gear to timing cover, and same on this side, cam gear to timing cover, cam gear to timing cover, and then gear to gear. For some reason, this one should be loaded. Normally it's loaded, but it's like right at the load. So the bottom gear is getting loaded. So that's where this company 23 tool comes in handy. Timing belt line on here. Here's the fun thing, the timing belt. So I'm just gonna get all that to hold right there. Really? That's because I have this intake gear 180 degrees out. like a big dummy. Well, at least I can admit when my gear is 180 degrees out. There we go, now we got 2 dots down there and 1 dot up here. They used fucking paint pen on it so I couldn't really see it. That seems more appropriate where I now have to use the cam gear to fucking grab the belt. Don't move, don't move, don't move, don't move, don't fucking move. Okay, now we're gonna come around here and get the belt on this side of the gears. You're already there. And this side is also, sweet. Hand tighten this end just to get it started. Center, make sure the belt is centered. I always forget to do that, and then I gotta go back through and recenter it all. Take the tool off, and then we'll rotate it over a couple times here in a minute. Normally I like to let them sit for like a minute or two, and then I'll pop the, then we'll rotate it over, so. I'm gonna show you this now because everybody seems to lose their mind about this, okay? Look at this. We're lined up here, we're lined up here, we're lined up here. We're perfectly lined up there. You can see the gear starting to get pulled by the belt a little bit and it's starting to like unalign a little bit. We're lined up here. We're lined up here and we're lined up here. Everything's lined up, right? All timing marks lined up. Watch this. When I go to spin this over, these 2 marks are gonna look like they're half a tooth off. We're lined back up here, okay? The belts, or the marks on the belt mean nothing now, okay? We've already spun it over. Timing belt tension, I should probably check that. It feels solid all the way around the belt. Okay, cool. Everything's lined up, lined up. Lined up, lined up, lined up, lined up, and lined up over here on the side, okay? These 2 marks will never line up again, okay? They will always appear to be half a tooth off. The first time I did this, I freaked out about it also, and I redid timing like 5 times. Don't do that. You're totally solid. Don't stress it. If you see this when you're doing timing on your own car, don't stress it. So now that we've got that done, I'm gonna go ahead and get the timing belt guides put on, get the spacing set for the guides, and then we can get the covers on, get our harmonic balancer on, not even harmonic balancer, but our crank pulley on. And then at that point, just kind of waiting on USPS to drop off the rest of the stuff for this engine, like the oil cooler lines and some other random water pump lines and whatnot. So sick, finish putting this thing back together. Oh, I got to put the covers back on here and put new O-rings on there. Easy deal. So now that we've got our timing covers on here, our crank pulley back on here, I need to tighten that crank position sensor bolt back down. UPS just dropped off some of my OEM parts for this thing. I don't have all of them yet, but they did drop off the valve covers. So what we need to do is swap out these half moons here, B25 cylinder heads, which are oddly specific to just early model WRX STIs, Forester XTs, that kind of stuff, have half moons on the back of the cylinder heads, and the plastic ones, they like shrink and wear over time and they'll cause oil leaks. So what we do is lose the parts that I bought. We get these nice billet half moons. So we're gonna go through here, clean up all the old excess sealant, get the new half moons in, and then get the valve cover sealed up. And then this engine is pretty much sealed up. At that point, we're just waiting for the rest of our parts to come in before we can drop this engine back into our STI and start cleaning up all that stuff. So let me get these on, because after I get this thing sealed up, I need to get this car out of here so that way I can start taking the transmission out of the WRX, because I really don't want to be doing that till 11 p.m. tonight. So let's get this thing sealed up. That is one fresh looking EJ, let me tell you that. So everything's resealed on here. This thing will not leak a drop of oil. I cleaned it up as much as possible for a used block. Honestly, it doesn't look bad. It'll get the job done. Got our new billet half moons in there. Valve covers on there, valve cover seal. I do put a small layer of sealant in between the valve cover seal and the head. I've found that it just helps prevent it from leaking a little bit more for a longer period of time. These engines really are super easy to build. I don't know, I get why they stress people out. It's not like an inline engine or something like that, but if it's your first time going in and like refreshing an EJ or doing something like this, I promise you, These things are stupid easy to work on. Everything's super accessible. Everything lines up. It only goes together one way. So there's a couple more things I do want to do to this in this video, but I first need to get this car out of here and need to bring the WRX in so that way I can start letting the transmission oil drain out of it, or the gear oil out of it. So let me play car swap real quick. We'll jump back on this guy. Got the WRX pulled in. I think I'm gonna stop on this video for the 04 STI. I have to jump on this right now and get this transmission out. It's already it's like 350, like 3:30. Deep in the afternoon. I wanted to get started on that around 1. Good progress on this EJ25. It's pretty much ready to go back, and actually it's ready to go back into the 04 STI once we get our clutch and flywheel. I might kidnap the flywheel out of this car because I have something else going in here right now. So get it all sorted, one car after another, right? I just want them all to work 100%. And once they all work 100%, I'm not going to tear any of them apart anymore. Probably lying to you. That one's not getting torn back apart. The hatch is not getting torn back. There's no reason to tear the hatch back apart. It's already got the 6-speed, the Brimbos, built motor. Probably do aesthetics, but that's about it. But anyways, that's all I got for you guys on this one. If you guys like the video, you know what to do. Go ahead, hit that like button, turn it black, blue, green, yellow, purple, silver, cyan, whatever color it turns for you. And if you're not already subscribed to the channel and you want to be, which we got a lot of stuff going on, this car going to the dyno, hopefully next week is when I'm trying to get it to go to the dyno. That one will also be going to the dyno. Blue, all the stuff. Sorry. I just I had an update that I forgot to tell you guys. EJ33 stuff for the Blue Brew. I talked to Jeremy and I just told him let's just go ahead and use all new pistons. Let's stop waiting on JE. So it sounded like it was alluding to maybe we'll get our EJ33 back in the next 2 weeks or so. Possibly. Not 100% certain, but it's there. But anyways, I will catch you guys in the next one. So peace out, homies.